Greetings and welcome to Project Pandora. I am Darkling and this of course is Ark Survival Evolved. Today's episode I'm going to carry on from yesterday and work on the storage area. The doorway took a little bit longer than expected sorting that out, but hopefully we'll try and make up some time today. So stick around and hopefully you enjoy the episode. Okay, so as you can see, if you haven't been watching the last episode, we are on the storage level and things are looking a lot more enclosed. Now the first thing I'm going to do is finish filling in the gap. So the walls themselves are going to be complete, or at least up until the expansion. Now I'm thinking there may be a level above this that's not at the mezzanine level, so I'm not entirely sure. I've got to put the storage in and see what I like. Nice and easy to fill in. See, when you've got stuff like this, you can make a base really quick. When you start to overlay things and try and make sure you're planning ahead so you don't miss anything, things really slow down a lot. So as you can see, this room is actually looking like a room now. It's got a definite enclosed feeling. So first things first, we're going to need to start figuring out where the storage is going. So I'm going to use the biggest sides, which are 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not going to need to go too high on them. Well, there will be too high, but I won't need to go to the ceiling. Now, because of the way I do my storage, I am going to need to raise the floor up in here. So that is going to be an interesting thing to do. I'm not... Oh, I suppose I'm going to need to drop those off. Okay, that's easy enough to do. I'm going to have to make sure I snap that lower snap point. The times where I can get away with not doing it, but it's few and far between, I find. So this is going to be the level of the actual storage. The next level up is where I'm actually going to be accessing it from. Now, something I've actually forgotten to bring, I'm not even sure I've made. I am going to need some catwalks. Now, I'll show you a trick to... Oh, come on. Really? Really? Fine, give it to me. Alrighty, so I think I'm actually going to need to put those back into place. Bugger off. And then the mouse goes AWOL. Yeah, that one back. I was going to say, did I go through 50? Yeah, I filled in the walls, of course I went through 50. So what I'm doing here is, even though this is going to be an open face, ooh, that's definitely not snapped in the right place. Okay, that's fine. I am going to need to make sure I can access things properly, so it's going to be really bizarre. I've never built like this before. I've got to hope for the best. Now this is going to be an enclosed area that isn't going to get used. I do have that on some of my builds, not too major. As you can see, I'm working my way around the room. Now I'm going to stop here because I'm not going to put the storage in there. I'm going to drop it off here. Looks about right. Prefer doing it from too high, because that way you're not getting interference from the lower snap. Okay, this is my mouse sitting still at the moment. It is clean, there's no hair hidden away in there. Okay, that definitely didn't snap in the right place then. It's not until you snap a second piece in to compare it from, like where you can sort of jostle the snaps around. Stop jumping to the top one. Not snapping to the opposite. There we go. Yeah, so that's important to get those right, because I want to have that nice and flush on the sides. So some of the window is going to be blocked off, that's fine, and I need to be able to access this. Now I've got two options. I can drop a ramp off there and use squares and overlap them in the corners, or I can use the roofs all the way around. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure which I prefer. I'm just going to come right up to the edge of that elevator. That's not too much of a problem. I think I might go with the tries, because then I can shape off that corner, and I probably don't have enough tries on me. 34. Well, it's going to be enough to get a start on this. So, can we get... Actually, let's start at the top on this one. I need that in a better hotbar spot. Now, if I'm lucky, and I probably am not, if I've got the snaps in from the top, I might be able to snap between them easier. Oh, these ones are snapping in easily. Go. Might actually have enough to do a reasonable amount of the room. Now I would use less tiles. Okay, I'm not quite sure how that went. I can use square tiles and cut down how much structures I'm actually using, but the shape that I want in here is just going to be that much better if I keep it like this. So I'm hoping with those snaps in there I can actually get these ones to snap into here without jumping around too much, because they have the natural snap points there, they might jump into the correct spots if they do jump. Now, there's going to be one side of this that I'm just going to have all sorts of problems. It's the way it usually works. Okay, this one spot seems to be my troublemaker, so let's try a different angle and we'll look down on it. Oh. Okay, let's look down on it from this angle. Okay, that snapped the opposite for sure. I didn't click on the opposite, but it definitely wasn't the one that it had highlighted. So I've been getting some really good feedback on the tutorial videos. I've had a fair few messages on and off YouTube. You can go through and see which ones I've got on YouTube, but obviously private messages you guys won't get. I've had quite a few from people, including a few other YouTubers, which is really cool. I have a few people that I say I know. I don't know them personally, but I've spent time watching their stuff and hanging out in their Discord sometimes. For those that have the Discords, obviously. I've been enjoying getting the feedback, especially from other tubers, because I don't really know how well I'm doing. Like, I'm just sort of doing this and I'm going with what feels right to me. And I am doing this a bit like art, so it's important that it is what I want to do and not necessarily what somebody else thinks I should do. It's the same way with my builds. There's been a few builds where I've asked somebody for an opinion, and like, because I'm doing something that I like, and they've said no, it looks terrible, don't do it. And then the very same person, when I finish the project, has gone, oh my god, that's amazing. So I don't tend to adjust. Like, I'll listen to an opinion, but if you outright slam it, chances are I probably will just go ahead and do it. I prefer constructive criticism where you can say, I don't like it for this reason. What you could do is this. But yeah, you're always going to have people that they have. Some people have problems seeing the bigger picture. Like, I've said it before, my other half's an artist, and some of the stuff she describes, totally get. It's exactly what she's got in mind, sort of, when she's building and describing it comes into play, and it just looks exactly like what she said. And then other times she can explain till she's blue in the face, and I'm just like, what are you on about? I just don't get it. And I have to wait until I actually see it in person before I can comment on it and say, oh my god, this is really amazing. Which is usually what I'm saying. This stuff is really cool. I need to pull that out of there. Okay, so that adds the last window in that apparently I missed. Now, I can remove this piece. Oh, I should have left that side one. Let's go up and come down from above. Is that bird? It's not even on allied looking and it's still annoying me. Go away. Hate you and I hate the bands you like. Alrighty. This is exactly what we need. Okay, so I free place. Now, unless you know what you're doing and you don't mind if things aren't necessarily 100% flush and square, replacing is the way to go. If you're really OCD, sometimes it's better to do a little bit more prep work. This is how I do my prep work. Now I feel that's actually too far. The space is this 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I normally do 4. Why is there that gap not right? feel like that's sticking through way too much. Actually, how overlapped is it? Is it a straight line? And as you can see, I have come across a little bit. It's not quite flush. So I'm going to show you a trick I use. As you can see, I'm placing that, I'm going to unsnap it. I know it's roughly right. I'm just going to dig into the wall a little bit, and I'm going to place it. As you can see, I didn't snap it to the side like I normally do. A little bit of overlap, that's fine. So now I'm going to pull these ones out, and I'm going to replace snap to the other side. And that's not sticking through that side. Stuck on the Quetzal. Actually, you've annoyed me enough that you can get shoved over in the other corner until I'm done with you. Or until I need you. Okay, so I'm going to build up one. Okay, so what resources do I have on me? Stuff all. What resources do I have a lot of? Ceilings, okay. So, I need catwalks. Chances are I don't have them learnt, do I? Not at all. Back out there. Now, what I do sometimes if I'm building like this, and I just need a couple of parts that I don't have, if I've got heaps of something, I'll put it down, wreck it, and use the resources I need to make what I'm missing. Fiber, really? I don't have anything to make fiber, so what do I need for the glass ones? No, that's fine. Can I make those in my inventory though? No, I can't. That's unfortunate. So yeah, the idea is just bust something up and you'll be able to build it. Now, because I can't do it in the stone tier because it's really annoying, actually gonna need those too. Damn it. So this isn't this is not meant to be a let's play. I shouldn't have to be going and picking fiber, but I'm pretty sure I haven't built any catwalks. Oh, terribly sorry. I think I forgot to press the push to mute on that one. Oh, you beauty. 15. Give me some more. Oh, I thought I was actually going to have to go and start harvesting berries. No, actually I'll probably just pause and spawn it in. Not that I really needed much in the way of fiber, so maybe I wouldn't have. Who knows? So I will change these windows once I've got more of this level in place. Come on, land. Spin around. Now, I've actually done this slightly wrong. Not a problem at all though. What I'm going to do is put that in there. Take that one down. I'm going to place a wall on top. Now, if you don't know where these are placing, pick one up. And you can also always replace after you've done it. So I can pick a couple of these up. Obviously you can't do this when they've got materials in them unless you want stuff to fall out. But for this particular kind of thing, when you're first starting, it's not a problem. Now it would be nice if they snapped on top of each other, but they don't. So that catwalk will add the support I need to do this level. Now if you're interested, I have done a tutorial video on this very recently, in fact. See if that'll let me snap. No, that's not going to snap cleanly. So to go this way ever so slightly. Yeah, I've got a tutorial video on it I did recently. I had some good feedback on it. It was specifically because somebody had asked me about it. So I ended up just going ahead and doing a video. I know the person and I know they were interested in the information, so I got in there as quick as I could and sorted it. Awesome. Now I've got it set back a little. It's got a little bit of a funny snap there. It's not a major, not a funny snap, it just looks a little bit different. So I must be at server save time again. Apparently I'm really heavy. Alrighty, so if I go up by half a wall again, it's not going to cover the top. So I'm going up a full wall, running the ceiling across. This side I'm going to pull out. Now here's something that I have actually done wrong. I'm going to place that in there, which busts that. However, that should now snap the catwalk on there quite nicely. Is that in? Another one. And we are enclosed properly. Now, am I going to come down off there? If I come down off there, it's going to be pretty in line. So if you're coming down off a ceiling, you're going to need to have a wall there to snap that extra one in. I don't know how I feel about that. Normally when I'm doing this, I will go with that kind of look. I like the feel of having... Okay, so how about a combination? I will need to add the extra snap in below. That one in place. Pop that one out. Too heavy to jump, I can't test that. I think that's going to be the way I do it though. So this particular technique does require extra resources. You are going to churn through some. So don't stress. Awesome, I can jump now. And that top railing. Half wall. Half wall. Oops, that is not the right one. Yeah, that's how this is gonna look. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, how does that line up? That's half a wall below the rest. Fine. What we'll do is we'll fill some of these in. That lower snap. Look like the lower one. I do feel like I might be on the wrong side though. Let's remove that. I'm going to come down off the top. Guessing I haven't got the walls under there either. No. That's right, I just went round and filled in the gaps. Problem. Looks like the spot I need. Okay. So these ones out of here. That's going to need to be a half rail. Why did that one bust and that one didn't? Don't even want to know. Ah, there is an extra snap there. What I want. Okay. So I'm going to end up with these tight spots for the windows, but that's cool. That just means that I'm going to end up with angles. I'll probably put some torches in here, make it look nice and shadowy. It's not going to be an issue. Now, I'm going to set this back a little bit. Get it in the wall a little bit. How much is sure? That feels like it's too much. Also feels like it's quite lopsided. So it wasn't sticking through, so that's at least something. I'm going to de-snap it and use it just to get a rough idea as to where it should be. Better? Well, I think that's definitely too far. Yeah. Okay, let's just start from scratch. How's that look? Might need to come over a little bit. How's it aligned lengthways? Ooh, no, it definitely needs to move over. I think I like the alignment along the front though, so that's always nice. Ooh, I just moved the mouse. Let's try that. Now, again, I don't think I'm going to be overlapping enough. Nope. You snap. Too much. Oh, I don't like it when the mouse goes on the wobbly. Oh, I'm trying to play stuff like this. Now, definitely cutting into the wall there. Whoops, accidental right click. Oh, really? Did you have to? Did you really have to? As you can see, there's a reason why sometimes you want to do this carefully. I quite like that. Definitely going into there plenty. How's it aligned along the way? I still feel that's sticking through a little bit much. How much on this side? Not as much. Now the trick is, can I snap? I'm looking at the base of the vault next to me. As you can see, I can line some of the stuff up a little bit. And that looks like it would be where it snaps. I want to go just that little bit over. That's more like it. That looks much better. Got a little bit of overlap. I don't mind a little bit of overlap. A little bit's fine. It's when you've got a lot that it starts to be a problem. So again, I will pick up some of these to put down the catwalks. Now I picked up this end just to make sure I'm getting the right snap. Not quite what I had in mind. Okay, so I'll pick that one up and that one. There we go. Keep doing this until you're happy. If you're not happy, don't use it. Keep changing it until you are. Don't call it quits too early, because if you are like me, sometimes it's just better to just persevere and get the snap that you think that it should have. How's that look? Good on that side. How's it aligning lengthways? Seems like my mouse is on the fritz again. I am going to need more vaults. Yes, I do have some. Awesome. Now I should end up with more vaults in here than I normally use in a base. So I normally have 3 sets of these. However, this time I'm going to end up with 4. Can I count? Yes, I can count. Apparently I can count. That's good. I knew I took maths at school for a reason. I swear I pressed the 1. Okay. That's not it. Let's put this in an easier spot. Okay, and we're short on walls again. Now I did actually notice that I'm almost out of ceilings again. Now I added an extra 1,000 of those in. So if you want perspective on how many I'm going through, yeah. So we must be at least a few thousand by now. Yeah, excellent. Yep, that's how I like it. Now I don't normally come down by the half wall off these ceilings, so this looks different than anything I've done thus far. Oops. Now if I had actually done this symmetrically, this corner here would be totally filled in with door. I'm glad I didn't. I quite like the way this is coming out. So I need to keep going. I'm going to start with the ceilings across the top, snap down from. Apparently I've had another server save. Now, I've seen people rage over bits of lag. Quite a lot of the time you'll find it is just a server save. You can kind of map it every 15 minutes. I've seen people rage over it. It's just not worth it. So you had a bit of lag, maybe you died, it sucks, but it is a game, and it's going to have lag. If you think this is bad, you should see some of the stuff that we used to deal with when we used to try and play over networks on Windows 95, because that really didn't work. That's what I want. Yeah. God, the amount of 95 machines that we tried networking on, oh, it was shocking at times. Null modem cables. Good old dial-up. Man, I really didn't want that spot. Tell you what, dial-up modems, there's an art in dial-up modems. Now, for those of you that were around for the dial-up modem, you will know that there is a certain screech that you sort of listen to when you've had your modem for a while. When it dials up, there was a select number of us that would actually listen to our modems. Some people muted them. I never did. I always listened, and you actually got a feel for when it was going to be a good connection. You could hear the sound was right, and you're like, okay, this is connecting. I've got my full speed. No, this isn't connecting. I'll disconnect and reconnect, and listen for that sound. That's a total lost art form, that is. I used to have the dodgiest connection. Like, I work for an internet provider, and I dealt with connection issues on a regular basis. Like every single day I would deal with people having problems connecting to the internet. And one of the worst modems that we encountered on the help desk was a Lucent Win modem. It had a particular kind of chipset in it that caused us no end of problems. It basically used shared resources with the computer. To disconnect on an internal modem like that, you would need to shut your machine down. So if you had any problems, you couldn't just turn it off and turn it on. You had to actually shut the machine off and on, which isn't too bad on modern computers where that boots up nice and quick. Some of those old machines, they would take ages to load up. So I had a Lucent Win modem in my laptop. I got the laptop cheap. It was a good deal. I didn't know at the time that that particular modem was problematic, but that was fine. I then had a between my computer and the phone jack, there was a 10-meter telephone cable. Now, a telephone cable isn't necessarily made for data. I need more volts. I need to get more volts. Come off too. Yeah, a telephone extension isn't made for data, so you're going to end up with a lot of data loss usually. So I'd taken an old telephone cable. It was 10 meters long. It was an old cable to begin with, and I just got a pair of scissors and chopped it in half. I then got sellotape, not electrical tape, sellotape, and I wired in about 10 to 20 meters of Cat5 networking cable. So modern computers, you'll see that there's a blue, it's usually blue cable connecting from your computer to the modem or the router. Would I come down for volts? Well, I used that cable to extend my extension, so I had this massively long extension cord that was literally just jerry-rigged together. I plugged into a telephone jack that was really dodgy. It was hanging off the wall. There were wires loose. It looked terrible. It really did. I was in a part of Auckland in New Zealand that was pretty renowned for having a pretty piss poor internet. It was definitely not the greatest by a long shot. And I tell you what, this setup, I got the fastest possible dial-up connections you could get in our country. Don't ask me how, but I managed it. It's just like the perfect storm of problems just cancelled each other out and gave me just like the best connection. Really weird how that happens sometimes. Ooh, that's heavy. So we're back to stacking the volts again. I'm just gonna reset my gamma. I'm feeling it's very bright. Hopefully it's not too dark for you now. Again, I'm lining these up. I'm using the line between the vault doors to work out how straight it is. It's actually a lot easier to do at this point. So as you can see, the door, it overlaps and sticks through ever so slightly. And that's how I was lining it up. Now, it is out by ever so slight amount. However, that's fine, not a problem. It's not out enough that you're going to pay attention to it. Ooh, that side's a little bit... Oops. Yeah, I'm not terribly happy with how much of that is sticking through. So... See, I could change this by which snap point that I'm snapping onto, because I'm snapping on the side it might actually be causing me some problems, but I'm going to persevere. Straight. Whoops. But I'm actually getting distracted. The other computer's flashing at me. I'm gonna align that like that. It's gonna be slightly off. I'm hoping by the time I did. If it ever sounds like I'm getting angry at the computer, I really am not. Still sticking through a lot. I start on this side. That's the snap. Unsnap that. Oops. Terrible for accidental right clicks. What I might do is just have this one unsnapped. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way it goes. That one isn't actually snapped in place, but you really can't tell, can you? I mean, if you were staring at it really hard, you might notice that something doesn't quite line up. But I'm not going to worry too much. I could run it back across, but I bet you that I'll end up misaligning it. I don't think that's quite as straight as the rest. But that's not a problem. Everything's looking good. So from here I need to do the top, which is going to be... this one's sticking through quite a bit too, actually. I don't mind the bottom part sticking through a little bit, but I think this top one's a bit too obvious. Much better. You can do this without overlapping them. I've done it a number of times before, but it's halfway up the glass, so it's another half wall on top. Why am I doing that now? Half wall, two walls. Oh, okay. Apparently I wasn't quite paying enough attention to that. Problem. Alrighty, so I'm going to need to cover the front of this. I'm hoping to get all of the storage done before the end of this video. Depends how the last section goes. If I was doing this as I normally do my storage, I'd be finished now, but obviously adding the extra one in is going to be a little bit longer. The last video with that entranceway, I think dragged the build out a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I'm trying not to stress about things like that too much. The length of the series is going to be the length of the series. However long it takes is just going to be how long it takes. Oh good. That side's done. Just this side. Now I'm just going to hop down here and have a look. I don't really need these filled in, you can't really see them. I could actually make it so there is something underneath there. I have done that in the past. I am going to need a bottom on this though. That spot there, that's ideal. I wonder if I can actually place the vaults better from down here. How through is that? Sticking through. Oh, I'm out of vaults again. This room's starting to get a feel of shapeliness. Shapely is good. Start to break out of that square base feel. A little bit through I can live with. So I need to come up. And that's 2 up from that. No, not that one. Oh, you little... Alrighty. My own fault, I should just remove this. These are not the ones I meant to have there. Up. You and you. Ooh, mouse on the wobble again. One of these days I'll fix it. Well, replace it. The annoying thing is I actually really like this mouse. Very nice feel to it. The scroll buttons, like compared to normal scrolls, it feels like a monster truck. Got quite a large wheel on it. Okay, something just... Oh, okay, there was that. Slope tri-roof. Feel like it's not rotated quite right. Can I do it properly? Wish there was a way of doing this a little bit finer. Oops. Move the mouse. Let's just try that. How much do I come out? Well, a lot. It feels better. Not quite though. That looks about what I want. Okay, let's see how that one goes. Still looking pretty even. Again, I'm looking at the green line. I think it's green. Oh, that one's... Okay, for some reason it started off on a wobbly. Sticking through a little bit there. This side's nice and clear. That's awesome. The roof on. So as you can see, you can fit 3 vaults per 2 tiles. So if you're wanting to do this kind of setup, do it in 2s. That's your best bet if you want to. I mean, you can do it other ways. Ooh. I've got a bit of overlap there. Is that going to be a problem? No, it shouldn't be because the railings are going to be above it. So technically I am using a few more, whoa, I think I picked up the wrong thing there. Yep, and again, I am using more of certain resources than I had in my storage, but I am making it with stuff that I already had, so I think structures wise you can still get a rough idea as to what the count is. So I'm not going to go through and work out how many structures I used. If you guys want to know that, you're welcome to work it out. I have said when I've spawned stuff in, and you can see when I change stuff. So you're welcome to do a count. I'm really not keen to do that. There's a lot of work. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I might join these up. Actually, no, I won't join them up. I will bring that out. I may not even have that slope section on the inside. I might line this up with the mezzanine floor that's above. And that'll give a little bit extra space. So in which case, I'll just wreck the joint. You know, just break some windows and okay, so that was a snap to the opposite. Now I do have a problem here. Solve it with a half rail. Where's the level I'm building to? That's the question. 2 from the top. Quite a way up. I think that might be the right height. I mean, I could put some more stuff on top of these storage units. I don't think that would be a problem. I'm not planning to. The opposite, I can't even tell. Looks like it should be about right. Don't snap there. Okay, that was a direct snap. Ooh, now where did I add the... Just remove that last lot. I believe it was on that one. Oops. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Sorry if I'm mumbling a bit. I'm still trying to work out the numbers here. I need to be able to get over to the side here. Leave the glass alone. Awesome. Now this storage area should look interesting. Oh, come on. Really? You're just lucky I got glass walls on me. Nope. Yes. All we want. Stop shaking the mouse. I'm going to need more walls, which I don't have, and more rails, which I do have. However, the lack of walls is a serious stopping point. Nope, that's not right. Let's change the time of day, something a bit warmer. So as you can see, the storage units are well underway. The actual storage themselves is pretty much finished. I'll still need to make a few little changes here and there, but it's looking pretty good. Obviously I'm going to do the mezzanine above. That's just to make things interesting. I'll still need to add some elevators to get up there. Again, not a problem. Should be a straightforward process. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and there is a Discord channel linked in the description if you want to join the Discord and have a chat, ask any building questions. It's all good. Take care and enjoy your building.